All right, ladies and gentlemen, in a short while, we're about to begin the program. I request everyone to please come inside the hall and take your seats, and a humble request to please keep your mobile phones on the silent mode. We're about to begin shortly. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to get the program started shortly. I'd like to request everyone in the pre-function area to please come inside the hall and take your seats, and a humble request to keep your mobile phones on the silent mode. We're about to get started shortly. Thank you.
Over the past decade, India has remained at the very heart of Envision's global mission towards a net zero future. Our journey aligned closely with the Honorable Prime Minister's Atmanirbhar Bharat vision. We have successfully localized key components, blades, tower, nacelle, and hub. As part of our continued localization and capacity expansion drive, our manufacturing footprint is rapidly growing. We are scaling our manufacturing capacity to 5 gigawatts per annum, with new facilities under development across the country. The first 5 megawatt nacelle and hub have rolled out from our Pune facilities. At Pune, we are setting up new generator and gearbox plant. Our first BESS containers arrived at Kandla port and have been successfully installed at our one of the customer project, Bikaner, in Rajasthan. Envision's commitment to India remains unwavering. We are building technology in India, for India, and from India to the world. Together, we are shaping a cleaner, smarter, and more sustainable energy future.
Dinner chapadle, breakfast chapadle. Nokiko enda cheyandenu.
Why are you being difficult?
Read the newspaper, man.
President-elect C.P. Radhakrishnan on Tuesday described his win as a victory for the nationalistic ideology and vowed to work towards making India a developed nation.
డిన్నర్ చాపట్లే
Over the past decade, India has remained at a very heart of Envision's global mission towards a net zero future. Our journey aligned closely with the Honorable Prime Minister's Atmanirbhar Bharat vision. We have successfully localized key components, blades, tower, nacelle, and hub. As part of our continued localization and capacity expansion drive, our manufacturing footprint is rapidly growing. We are scaling our manufacturing capacity to 5 gigawatts per annum, with new facilities under development across the country. The first 5 megawatt nacelle and hub have rolled out from our Pune facilities. At Pune, we are setting up new generator and gearbox plant. Our first BESS containers arrived at Kandla port and have been successfully installed at our one of the customer project, Bikaner, in Rajasthan. Envision's commitment to India's remains unwavering. We are building technology in India, for India, and from India to the world. Together, we are shaping a cleaner, smarter, and more sustainable energy future.
డిన్నర్ చాపట్లే ബ്രേക്ക്ഫാസ്റ്റും చాപ്പിടില്ലേ നോക്കിക്കോ എന്താ ചെയ്യണ്ടെന്ന്
Why are you being difficult?
Read the newspaper, man.
The Vice President-elect C.P. Radhakrishnan on Tuesday described his win as a victory for the nationalistic ideology and vowed to work towards making India a developed nation.
డిన్నర్ చాపట్లే
Over the past decade, India has remained at a very heart of Envision's global mission towards a net zero future. Our journey aligned closely with the Honorable Prime Minister's Atmanirbhar Bharat vision. We have successfully localized key components, blades, tower, nacelle, and hub. As part of our continued localization and capacity expansion drive, our manufacturing footprint is rapidly growing. We are scaling our manufacturing capacity to 5 gigawatts per annum, with new facilities under development across the country. The first 5 megawatt nacelle and hub have rolled out from our Pune facilities. At Pune, we are setting up new generator and gearbox plant. Our first BESS containers arrived at Kandla port and have been successfully installed at our one of the customer project, Bikaner, in Rajasthan. Envision's commitment to India's remains unwavering. We are building technology in India, for India, and from India to the world. Together, we are shaping a cleaner, smarter, and more sustainable energy future.
డిన్నర్ చాపట్లే ബ്രേക്ക്ഫാസ്റ്റും చాപ്പിടില്ലേ നോക്കിക്കോ എന്താ ചെയ്യണ്ടെന്ന്
Why are you being difficult?
Read the newspaper, man.
The Vice President-elect CP Radhakrishnan on Tuesday described his win as a victory for the nationalistic ideology and vowed to work towards making India a developed nation.
డిన్నర్ చాపట్లే
Over the past decade, India has remained at a very heart of Envision's global mission towards a net zero future. Our journey aligned closely with the Honorable Prime Minister's Atmanirbhar Bharat vision. We have successfully localized key components, blades, tower, nacelle, and hub. As part of our continued localization and capacity expansion drive, our manufacturing footprint is rapidly growing. We are scaling our manufacturing capacity to 5 gigawatts per annum, with new facilities under development across the country. The first 5 megawatt nacelle and hub have rolled out from our Pune facilities. At Pune, we are setting up new generator and gearbox plant. Our first BESS containers arrived at Kandla port and have been successfully installed at our one of the customer project, Bikaner, in Rajasthan.
Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us at the 16th IAA Olive Crown Awards. I'd like to request all of you to please take your seats as we're about to begin momentarily. Well, as you take your seats, you'll also find the QR codes to the social media handles of the IAA India chapter. Please do follow us there. We also request you to please keep your mobile phones on the silent mode so that the only thing resonating tonight will be the power of purposeful communication. Well, before we begin and before we start the show, we'd also like to thank our associate partners Envision Energy and The Hindu, print media partners Deccan Herald, The Free Press Journal, and The Hindu Group, web media partners at Gully, Indian Television, MXM, Manifest, Media News for You, and Media Brief, and our strategic partner, Awardo. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to get started. I'd like to request all of you to please take your seats. Thank you.
For 16 years, the IAA Olive Crown Awards have celebrated ideas that do more than communicate. Ideas that have made a difference. Because the world we live in is not ours alone. It is shared with every form of life around us. And every message we create has the power to influence that balance, to shape choices, to shift behavior. Tonight, we celebrate ideas that shape a better world, because the future is built together. Welcome to the 16th IAA Olive Crown Awards.
Wow. Firstly, hearty good evening, everyone, and a warm welcome to all of you to the 16th IAA Olive Crown Awards. Well, my name is Kavya R. Chavali, and I must admit, I see a lot of familiar faces, a lot of stalwarts, and I also see a lot of eager eyes, the ones who joined us not just on time, but in time to be a part of this phenomenal evening. Well, I can see that so many of you are entering inside the hall, so let's have you all grab your seats as you absorb the ambience of the evening and as I absorb the ambience of this beautiful stage over here. But it is said that we do not inherit the world, we shape what remains in the ideas that we create, in the choices that we make. Because when creativity begins to care, it becomes a force that the world cannot ignore or cannot escape. So that being said, a wonderful evening indeed, and a wonderful welcome to all of you. Now, I realized I took a little bit of inspiration from this beautiful stage setup and decided to add tresses to my hair. Looks like I'm going to have a great hair day, but we're going to ensure we're going to have a great evening ahead. And if you're all feeling a little cold inside this hall, let's warm it up with a round of applause as well. We'll get that energy back in the air from all of you. Let's do that. Let's bring the energy back in the air. Thank you so much. And as you all go ahead, find your favorite spots, I'm here in my favorite spot, right here at the podium. So thank you so much again for joining us. And once again, a warm, warm welcome to each and every one of you. Now, for 16 years, I'm going to put this back again for all of you. For 16 years, this platform has stood for one powerful idea, that communication can do more than just inform. It can actually influence change. And in a world where every message shapes behavior, the responsibility as we carry on as an industry has never been greater. So tonight is not just about celebrating creativity. It is about recognizing ideas that respect the world that we exist in. Because ideas that don't just capture attention, we're talking about ideas that truly, truly make a difference. And we know that the truth is simple because this is not a world that we own. It is a world that we have. And every choice that we make, every story that we tell shapes what the future looks like. That being said, I'd also like to bring your attention to the fact that 16 years ago, when sustainability was still finding its voice, the IAA India chapter chose to lead the conversation. With the Olive Crown Awards, we set out to celebrate ideas that more than sell, we're talking about ideas that serve. And what a journey it's been. From awareness to action, from intent to impact, this platform today stands out as one of Asia's most respected recognitions for sustainability-led communication. Ladies and gentlemen, we do have a very inspiring evening ahead. In fact, there's a very famous Hindi song with a line that says, "Zindagi aur kuch bhi nahi, teri meri kahani hai," which is why this evening will be filled with a lot of stories that stay with you. In fact, a community that continues to build a better future, one idea at a time. So, to officially begin this evening, firstly, I'd like to please invite someone on stage who has actually been very instrumental in strengthening the IAA India chapter's vision and, most importantly, its many impactful initiatives. If we do have everyone's attention, can we have an attentive round of applause? Please put your hands together to welcome on stage Abhishek Karnani, President, IAA India chapter. Well, let's make it louder and louder, everyone. Mr. Karnani.
Good evening, friends. Welcome to the Olive Crown Awards, a proud initiative of the India chapter of the International Advertising Association and the Asian Federation of Advertising Associations. Tonight is not just about recognition, it is about responsibility. Consider this, nearly 1 million species are at risk of extinction. Forests the size of football fields vanish every few seconds. And extreme weather events, once rare, are now routine. Who would have imagined hail and thunderstorms in Pune in March? How much more evidence do we need? How many more warnings before we act with urgency? Tonight should translate into a tangible idea that's powerful. The award proves that our industry is serious about showing the world what's good is good for business. They prove that creativity is not just about selling, it is about shaping behavior, influencing culture, and inspiring change. Because communication is power, and when used right, it can move millions. Tonight is also a reminder of hope. The Olive Crown Awards are that silver lining, a collective statement that we will fight back, that we will leave behind something better, something pristine for the generations to follow. So let me ask you, what story will we tell the future? That we knew but did nothing, or that we rose, created, and changed the course of our history? Each one of us has a role. The choices that we make today will define how we are remembered tomorrow. And that's what's brought us together. We have pledged to protect brand Earth. If there's one brief we absolutely cannot afford to mess up, it's this one. So let's not just talk about change, let's actually deliver it, preferably ahead of deadline. Thank you and have a beautiful evening.
Thank you. Thank you very much indeed, Abhishek, because you've left us pondering with the right question. What are the stories that we're telling to the future? So thank you again. And with that, to tell us a little more about this evening and to also set the context for what this evening is about, it's only befitting that I now invite the chairperson, IAA Olive Crown Awards 2026, Janak Sada. Let's put our hands together, everyone. And please help me welcome Janak Sada.
Good evening, friends. Welcome to this wonderful evening of celebrating our planet. Each year when we come together and reflect on the year gone by, we celebrate the incredible work done by brands, agencies, NGOs, and the media. But this year feels different. This year, we have seen participation from an industry association as well, a clear sign that the cause has reached a point of real momentum. It is no longer just being discussed. It is being actioned, reviewed, and taken forward with intent. That is exactly what the Olive Crown stands for. Work that cannot be measured in price. With no ticketed event, no entry fee. Just a pure celebration of effort towards protecting our planet and honoring our planet. The entries we receive from across cities in India and from around the world are a strong testament to how deeply this cause is resonating across geographies and communities. I would like to sincerely thank Envision and The Hindu for their support this evening and for believing in the cause as much as we do. And to all of you here, thank you for being present and for bringing your passion towards building a better, greener planet. Thank you and have a meaningful evening.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Janak, for adding that meaning to this evening as well with your valuable words. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we move ahead, we'd also like to take a minute to revisit a message from someone whose words have shaped the way we think about creativity and purpose. Last year, the legendary Piyush Pandeyji shared his thoughts with us on sustainability and, most importantly, the role of our industry, how it plays in shaping a more responsible future. And today, as we remember that message, it in fact feels even more meaningful. It's a reminder that ideas have the power not just to influence, but to create a lasting impact. Well, as we remember a true creative legend, we also invite all of you to please join in to listen to a voice that continues to inspire. Let's have the AV on the screen, please.
I wish everyone, the winners of today, the participants of today, the cheerleaders of today, and of course, Ramesh, the very best for a lovely evening. I remember many years back at Stream, WBB Stream in Jaipur, Sanjeev Mehta made a speech and showed a commercial which was for sustainability about the shower, and everyone loved it. And Sanjeev did something which was very nasty to me. He said, if you like this commercial, after my presentation, each one of you go and give Piyush a hug. And there were 250 hugs that I got that afternoon. So today, with all good spirit and the happy mode of 15 years, I request you all to give Ramesh a hug sometime of the evening and wish him many more years. Each one of you, don't let him go. Have a lovely evening. Bye.
You know, a message that always widens our smiles, and we know who we are heading next to give a hug, right? Looks like we do. All right. Well, one thing is for sure that when we hear a message as important as this, in fact, the thoughts, they continue to remind us of responsibility that we carry on as storytellers and the impact that our ideas can create. And this voice will continue to guide us. Well, that being said, it's also befitting that for initiating and also for being the driving force behind 16 years that we are celebrating this evening. Can we also have a huge round of applause for Mr. Ramesh Narayan, past president, IAA India chapter. We got to make it louder, louder and louder, everyone, so that he can actually hear if he's not, because he's always the hyperactive individual of the evening, especially an evening such as this. But that being said, let's bring your attention back again to this evening, to the celebration, because each year, the IAA Olive Crown Awards receive hundreds of entries across categories, each one that's rooted in purpose and powered by creativity. And with every edition, one thing becomes clear, that there's no shortage of brands, agencies, and individuals committed to communicating for a better planet. But with great ideas comes a lot of responsibility of choosing the very best. And for that, we turn to a jury, the very jury that reflects the same values that the platform stands for. So before we get to celebrate the winners, the Green Warriors of tonight, let's also take a moment to acknowledge the process behind it. Let's quickly have the AV on the screen, please.
It was great to see all the work. There was a good standard of thinking and a good standard of craft in many of the entries. I think that this is a great initiative to encourage clients and agencies to do work for a very worthy cause.
This year, I've seen a lot of innovation from the outdoor space. I've seen a fair bit of innovation on the print space also. And I think we're moving in the right direction.
Bigger industrial groups and business groups are participating and then contributing to the sustainability. It's heartening to see other large companies in India are doing.
The good thing is, like, you can see a lot of brands which are coming up, a lot of big brands and who are participating, because today sustainability cannot be left on the side. It has to be the story which the brands kind of narrate.
Some of the work, I have to say, I was so impressed with. It would work equally in international award spaces as well.
We were very cognizant of the fact that because it was about sustainability, how we looked at it was also from a lens of encouraging brands who actually did sustainable work to do even more and spread it across their client base. So it was a really interesting experience. I'm super happy to have been asked, and I want to congratulate the winners.
Well, let's have a special round of applause for our incredible jury as well. And to present a token of our gratitude to our jury members, firstly, I'd like to please invite on stage Mr. Abhishek Kanani and Mr. Janak Sarda. And with that, let's actually go ahead and invite our incredible jury on the stage. I'd like to firstly please invite Ambarish Chakrabarti, Senior Partner and Executive Creative Director, RK Swami Limited, Carlton De Silva, Founder, Muse Makers, KV Sridhar, AK Pops, Global Chief Creative Officer, Nihilant Limited, Kalpesh Patankar, Group Chief Creative Officer, VML India. And we'd also like to thank Preeti Vyas, the Chairwoman and Chief Creative Officer of Vyas Gyanati Creative, and Riman Masand, who is the founder of Riman Plus, who could not join us this evening, but we'll continue thanking them for their incredible time and effort that they've put in order to select our winners this evening. We've got two of our jury members over here as of now. Can we double up the applause, everyone? Let's do that. We'll bring the phones out. We'll get the applause out as well. Thank you so much to our jury. And I'd like to request Abhishek and Janak to please remain on stage. With that, it's now time to acknowledge those who have believed in our effort, invested in it, and also helped us grow. First up, one of our associate partners this evening, an organization driving the global transition to clean energy. Their work reflects innovation with purpose and clear commitment to a sustainable future. So first up, we're going to take a look at the AV. So I'm going to request Abhishek and Janak to head to the side of the stage. We'll take a look at the AV together. Here we go.
Over the past decade, India has remained at the very heart of Envision's global mission towards a net zero future. Our journey aligned closely with the Honorable Prime Minister's Atmanirbhar Bharat vision. We have successfully localized key components, blades, tower, nacelle, and hub. As part of our continued localization and capacity expansion drive, our manufacturing footprint is rapidly growing. We are scaling our manufacturing capacity to 5 gigawatts per annum, with new facilities under development across the country. The first 5 megawatt nacelle and hub have rolled out from our Pune facilities. At Pune, we are setting up new generator and gearbox plants. Our first BESS containers arrived at Kandla port and have been successfully installed at our one of the customer project, Bikaner, in Rajasthan. Envision's commitment to India remains unwavering. We are building technology in India, for India, and from India to the world. Together, we are shaping a cleaner, smarter, and more sustainable energy future.
Let's put in all that energy to that applause as well as I invite RPV Prasad, Managing Director, Envision Energy, to please join in on the stage. Now, before we present a token of our gratitude to the Envision team, we do have an announcement, so I'd like to request you, sir, to please join in. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now IAA, along with Envision Energy and Earth Day, called for entries to design the logo as well as the mnemonic for Envision's commitment to the Sundarbans restoration project. A long-term commitment to restore mangrove ecosystems in the Sundarbans, protect vulnerable coastlines, and also support the communities that depend on them. And guess what? We actually received an overwhelming response with entries that truly capture the spirit of this initiative, which is why tonight we recognize and felicitate the winners on stage. And the winners for the Envision Sundarbans Restoration Project is Shubhani Garai. So I'd like to please invite Shubhani Garai to please come on stage so that we can also present the plaque to her. And you can also see the winning entry that's been displayed on the stage. I think it'll come back in a short while. But Shubhani, if you're inside the hall, we'd love to have you on the stage. All right. I believe she's going to join us in a short while. But nevertheless, can we have a round of applause for that winning entry as well? And with that, if I could also please request Mr. Abhishek Karnani and Janak Sada to present a token of gratitude to RPV Prasad, Managing Director, Envision Energy India. All right, so with that, I'm going to be requesting you to take your seats before I call you back again on stage. But meanwhile, everyone, you can also join the Envision Energy mission by scanning this QR code and pledging on your behalf. Envision will plant, in fact, a sapling at the Sundarbans mangrove. I wish I had my phone right here on the podium. I would have done that immediately. I'm going to urge all of you, let's bring those phones out. Can we have the QR code on the screen? Looks like the phones are out. There you go. The QR code is back because Envision India will actually plant a sapling on your behalf. And I think that's our little commitment that we can also do along with Envision India. So let's see those phones out there. Last 5 seconds, we'll do that. But don't worry, we'll always have the QR code for you again. With that, thank you once again, Mr. Prasad, and thank you to the team. We'd also like to thank our associate partner this evening, an institution that has long stood for credible, responsible journalism, a voice that continues to inform, influence, and shape public thought. Let's take a look at their story on the screen, please.
ഡിന്നർ ചാപ്പിടില്ല, ബ്രേക്ക്ഫാസ്റ്റും ചാപ്പിടില്ല. നോക്കിക്കോ എന്താ ചെയ്യേണ്ടതെന്ന്.
Why are you being difficult?
Read the newspaper. Man.
The Vice President-elect C.P. Radhakrishnan on Tuesday described his win as a victory for the nationalistic ideology and vowed to work towards making India a developed nation.
Well, that's right. If I could have our presenters back on stage, if I could once again invite Abhishek and Janak, can we have both of you on stage, please? And if I could please invite John, Justin, Srimati Sridharan, and Lavanya to also please come on stage to accept a token of our gratitude. Thank you so much again to you and the team for bringing in credible and responsible journalism. I'd like to request our presenters to remain on stage. So Abhishek and Janak, let's have you back on stage again for a little more while. We'd also like to thank Awador for being our strategic partner and also helping us put together the awards portal, making it fully a digital process. If I could please invite Sraval Roy Motukuru to please come on stage to accept a small token of our gratitude. And can we have a round of applause, because this evening we're celebrating the ideas with the awards. And we'd also like to thank Awardo for being a strategic partner for this incredible evening. Thank you so much. With that, we'd also like to extend our gratitude to our print media partners, Deccan Herald, the Free Press Journal, and the Hindu Group, web media partners at Gully, Indian Television, MXN, Manifest, Media News for You, and Media Brief. And also the team at Nihilant for the amazing creatives for our call to entry and other digital assets. And with that, finally, we now arrive to the moment wherein we come together to celebrate purpose, creativity, and impact. All right, so looks like we're all set with the awards, and looks like I'm already set. I'm ever ready. I need to know if our audience is ready. So this is what I want you all to do. I want you to raise both your hands up in the air like this. I know we have our mobile phones. We'll keep it aside. We'll raise both our hands up in the air. And at the count of 3, 2, 1, when I ask you, are you ready? I want you to pull your hands down and give me a big, loud yes. All right, so we'll keep shaking those hands, everyone. Bringing that energy. Are you ready? One more time, are you ready? One last time, are you ready? If you're ever ready, isi baat pe zordar taaliyan bhi ho jaye. Because we love that applause. We love the sound of that energy as well. And that's the plan for the rest of the evening. Okay, now to present the first set of awards, which are the committee's special mentions, I'd like to please invite our presenters on stage. First up, I'd like to please invite Rahul Kanwal, CEO and Editor-in-Chief, NDTV. I'd like to also please invite Alok Jalan, IAA Mancom member and Managing Director, Lakshya Media Private Limited, and Raj Kamble, IAA Mancom member and founder and CCO, Famous Innovations. All right, so you'll be presenting our very first two olive crowns. And our first olive crown this evening is in the category of New Age Green Initiative, forcing us to relook at some of the choices that we make. What we're about to do is unveil the winner on the screen. So let's have you come a little to the side of the stage. You and I and the audience will take a look at the winner. Here we go.
Committee's special mention for New Age Green Initiative goes to Eco Trophies, created by Workshop Q.
Congratulations, we'll have you center stage. And congratulations to the Workshop Q team for creating trophies and mementos through recycling, turning every award into a symbol of sustainability. Can we recycle the applause as well? We can do that. One more time, everyone. Mighty congratulations. I request our presenters to remain on stage because our next category looks at print production. That's right. We're talking about print production, so let's quickly take a look at the AV.
Committee's special mention for print production goes to Green Thumbprint I Will, created by IMC Chamber of Commerce and Industry.
Congratulations there. Let's keep the applause coming as I invite President IMC Sunita Ramnathkar. May I also please invite Ram Gandhi, Governor IMC, and the Chairman of the Environment Committee, reflecting purpose through every page. So congratulations to the IMC team. Congratulations, and thank you so much for doing the honors. Thank you. With that, we now march ahead to our next set of awards, ladies and gentlemen. And to present our next category of awards, I'd like to please invite on stage I. Venkat, IAA Mancom member and director, eNadu. I'd also like to please invite Ambrish Chakrabarti, jury member and senior partner and executive creative director, R.K. Swami. So let me also please invite Mr. Ambrish on stage and Mr. Venkat. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, now you will be presenting 3 awards. So let's take a look at what our next category looks at. We're talking about communication that did not make it as a campaign, but surely had a green thumb. Now we have 3 silver and 2 gold olive crowns in this category. So let's take a look at our first joint silver olive crown.
In the category Press Unreleased, the joint silver olive crown goes to Surmai, created by Tempest Advertising Private Limited.
a concept that turns a simple visual into a striking message about the loss of our oceans. So congratulations to the team at Tempest. Can we have a wave of applause as well? Everyone, let's come together and let's hear it for the team at Tempest. Our first silver olive crown in this category. Congratulations to the team. With that, we're now about to also take a look at the second joint silver olive crown in this category. So here we go. The AV on the screen, please.
In the category Press Unreleased, the joint silver olive crown goes to Home Invasion, created by FCB Interface for WWF.
Can we have a powerful round of applause for that powerful reminder that when we encroach on their world, the consequences come back to ours. What a powerful reminder that is. So congratulations to the FCB team. That can be louder. We are open to Talia, Sitia, everything. Let's bring it up. Woo! Congratulations. We'll now take a look. That's right. We'll now take a look at the third joint silver crown in this category. Here we go.
In the category Press Unreleased, the joint silver olive crown goes to Body by Plastica, created by FCB Interface for Blast Economy Foundation.
Congratulations. Now that's for a powerful idea that makes us confront the impact of plastic not around us, but within us. Huge congratulations to the FCB team. Congratulations and thank you indeed to our presenters for doing the honors. Thank you so much. Well, now to present our next set of awards, I'd like to please invite on stage LV Navneet, IAA Mancom member and CEO, The Hindu, and Dr. Yogesh Jadhav, editor and chairperson, Budhari Group. We can keep that applause coming for our presenters as well, as our presenters walk right up to the stage. And along with Mr. LV Navneet and Dr. Yogesh Jadhav, let me also please invite Sanjay Pradhan, the President of World Forum of Ethics in Business. Thank you so much, Mr. Pradhan, for joining us this evening. Well, you'll be presenting our next two awards, which is why it's time to take a look at the Gold Olive Crowns. But first up, the first joint Gold Olive Crown in this category of Press Unreleased. Let's take a look on the screen, please.
In the category Press Unreleased, the joint Gold Olive Crown goes to Poaching, created by BML India for World Wildlife Fund.
The more you look at that creative, the more you will see. It's a stark reminder that a single act can have devastating consequences far beyond what we see. So congratulations to Team BML. Can we have Zoda round of applause, everyone? Come on, bring the energy back in the air for Team BML. Congratulations. And as our presenters stay back on the stage, in fact, this is where we are also going to take a look at the joint gold in this category. And here we go.
In the category Press Unreleased, the joint Gold Olive Crown goes to AR, the Water Demon, created by Tempest Advertising Private Limited.
We need to have a fluid round of applause over here. I mean, take a look at the campaign that we're talking about for highlighting the hidden environmental impact of AI and the urgency to use technology responsibly. Winning a silver and now a gold. Congratulations to the team at Tempest. Congratulations, and thank you so much to our presenters for doing the honors. Thank you once again. And now to present our next set of awards, I'd like to please invite on stage Karuna Singh, Head Asia, earthday.org, Carlton De Silva, jury member and co-founder Muse Makers, and John Shelton, CFO, Envision Energy. Let's have all our presenters on the stage as we move forward to our next category of awards. Now they will be presenting our next three awards. In fact, our next award celebrates how everyday consumer brands are using creativity to drive more responsible choices. We have one silver olive crown in this category. Let's take a look.
In the category Press Consumer Products, the silver olive crown goes to Works for the Planet, Works for You, created by Underdog for Relwood.
The truth indeed, ladies and gentlemen, a compelling idea that reimagines materials, showing how sustainable choices can protect design and the planet. So congratulations to the Relwood and Underdog teams. And can we have our presenters come center stage? Let's have the spotlight on our presenters and the winners. All right, I'm going to request you all to move center stage. Let's put the spotlight on all of you. And let's request our presenters to please do the honors. And while they do so, can we bring the sound of applause one more time? We love the music, we love the fanfare, but we love the sound of applause as well. That's what we're talking about. Congratulations. And I request our presenters to remain on stage. I'm going to request all our presenters to remain on stage, please. Well, that's right. We're now moving on to our next category that recognizes brands that use services to drive meaningful change and responsible action. Now, we have one silver Olive Crown in this category. Let's take a look.
In the category Press Services, the Silver Olive Crown goes to plastic wrapped monuments created by the Times of India for Yatra.com.
You and I, we're all travelers at heart. Can we have a huge round of applause for a powerful reminder that responsible travel begins with responsible choices, keeping our memories as clean as the places that we visit. So congratulations to the team at Times of India. And our presenters can also travel back center stage. Right here, that's right. Congratulations to the entire team. And I'm going to request our presenters to remain on the stage one more time. Now, our next category recognizes ideas that use the power of digital to drive awareness, action, and real impact. We have one silver Olive Crown in this category. All eyes on the screen, please.
In the category Digital, the Silver Olive Crown goes to Vanishing Chirps, created by Illumini Communications for Climate Par Charcha.
Congratulations indeed for reminding us that while technology can imagine anything, it cannot replace what we have already lost. So huge congratulations to the entire team. I request our presenters to please come center stage to also do the honors. Congratulations and thank you so much. Thank you to our presenters as well. And congratulations to the winners. And now to present our next set of awards, I'd like to please invite on stage Jaideep Gandhi, Vice President, IAA India Chapter and founder, Another Idea. You got fans over here, Jaideep. Come on, let's make that louder. Woo! I'd also like to please invite Neena Jaipuria, IAA Mancom member, and Sunita Ramnathkar, President, Indian Merchant Chamber, IMC. Let's have both of you. Ma'am, let's have you on the stage to do the honors for our next category of awards. All right, now our presenters will be presenting our next two awards, and our next category celebrates corporate communication that goes beyond messaging to reflect purpose and accountability. And guess what? We have 2 silver and 2 gold olive crown in this category. Looks like you're ready. Ma'am, sir, you're ready? Audience, are you ready? I don't see that loud. Let's make it one more time. Are you ready? Yes? Superb. Then on that note, our first joint silver olive crown. Let's take a look on the screen.
In the category Press Corporate, the joint silver olive crown goes to The Last Pack, created by The Hindu.
Turning everyday consumption into a powerful reminder of what extinction really costs, bringing biodiversity lost straight to our plates. And for all attendees, as you make your way out this evening, you'll in fact receive these Last Pack goodie bags at the registration. So can we have a special round of applause one more time for the team? Congratulations to the entire team. And that's right, to all of our attendees, you will also receive a pack of the Last Pack goodie bags on your way out. So let's look forward to that. But now let's look forward to taking a look at the second joint silver olive crown in this category. Here we go.
In the category Press Corporate, the joint silver olive crown goes to Call for Entry, created by Garage Worldwide for IAA Olive Crown Awards.
We got to double up that applause. We got to make it louder and louder. A call for entry that got all of you in this room last year. A striking digital metaphor that reminds us when nature shuts down, there's no reopening the window. So congratulations and thank you very much for the support to the IAA Olive Crown Awards. I see that little applause from the left side of the hall. Maybe we can all join in as well. That's right. We love that kind of chain reaction, don't we? Congratulations and thank you so much for doing the honors. Thank you to our presenters as well. Thank you once again. Yes, ma'am. As I invite you to join in the audience so that we can all take a look at what's coming up next. Now, that being said, it's now time to present our next set of awards. And it's only befitting that I invite our presenters on stage. So first up, let me please invite Pradeep Dwivedi, IAA Mancom member and Group CEO, Heroes Media World Group. Can we have an entertaining round of applause, everyone? Put your hands together. What a delight. And joining him, let me please invite Neena Das Gupta, IAA Mancom member and founder, The Salt Inc. Okay, that's some 6 yards of power. Can we have a powerful round of applause as well? Come on, everyone. And none other than Sumit Chatterjee, Chief Communication Officer, Lawson and Tubro. Pradeep and Neena right here on stage. And we've got Sumit joining in. Well, hello. So good to see you all here. And with that, all right, I know it's going to get a little busier on the first row, but that being said, we'll also continue with the awards. But we're now about to bring your focus to the fact that these set of presenters will present 2 gold olive crowns in our category, which is Press Corporate. So that being said, we'll take a look at the first joint gold olive crown. Here we go.
In the category Press Corporate, the joint gold olive crown goes to Glacier Melts Felt, created by The Hindu.
By measuring climate change and something that we can see and something that we can feel, this work turns distant data into immediate urgency. What a beautiful campaign, ladies and gentlemen. Huge congratulations once again to the entire team. Congratulations once again to the entire team. Now I'm going to request our presenters to remain on stage, because now we're about to take a look at the second joint gold olive crown in this category. Well, let's take a look at the AV.
In the category Press Corporate, the joint gold olive crown goes to Stop the Habit, created by The Hindu.
Well, the team is right here, and let's have you on the stage, and let's power it up with some applause, everyone. Once again, let's congratulate the team at The Hindu. A simple yet a powerful disruption and a stark reminder of the damage that we choose to ignore. Winning 3 olive crowns for their exemplary work. Mighty congratulations once again to the entire team. Congratulations and thank you to our presenters. Thank you, Pradeep. Thank you, Neena. Thank you, Sumit, for doing the honors. Thank you once again. All right, we're about to take that momentum forward, and now to present our next set of awards, I'd like to please invite on stage Srinivasan K. Swami, Chairperson, Asian Federation of Advertising Association, and Executive Group Chairperson, R.K. Swami, along with Abhishek Karnani, President, IAA. I'd also like to please invite Janak Sardar, Chairman, IAA Olive Crown Awards 2026. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, a very special person who's truly committed to making this a greener planet. We have the very young, the youthful leader, Aditya Thackeray. Can we have a special and a youthful round of applause there? I'd like to also please invite Aditya Thackeray on the stage. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Well, in fact, our next category moves beyond communication. This category honors real, on-ground impact driven by commitment and purpose. The Olive Crown for Green NGO of the Year. We have 1 silver and 1 gold Olive Crown in this category. Let's take a look at the Silver Olive Crown.
The Silver Olive Crown for the Green NGO of the Year goes to Rotary International.
Ladies and gentlemen, an initiative that brings together community, sustainability, and purpose to drive real on-ground impact. Can we have an impactful round of applause as well, everyone? Let's bring it together back in the air. We have with us Rajesh Chaudhary, Chairperson, Environment Avenue, Rotary District 3141, to receive the honor. We're talking about the category which is Green NGO of the Year. Congratulations, sir. Congratulations, ma'am, and to the entire team. Well, this is what we're talking about, Green NGO of the Year. That deserves a special round of applause. One more time. That's what we're talking about, everyone. And now we move on to taking a look at the Gold Olive Crown for the Green NGO of the Year. Here we go.
The Gold Olive Crown for the Green NGO of the Year goes to
I am the river Vag. I have flowed for centuries. Along my timeless journey, I have passed through many villages in Maharashtra. I have watched generations born, struggle, migrate. Not long ago, my waters flowed past fields that lay barren post-monsoons. Land full of promise, yet thirsty, because year-round irrigation was only a dream. With night, darkness fell. Villages had little or no access to reliable electricity. After the paddy harvest, people disappeared from the village, forced to migrate in search of work that brought in some income, but with it, sickness and suffering. The sight of women carrying water under the harsh sun weighed heavily in my heart. And then slowly, things began to change. With every thoughtful intervention by Project Chirag, supported by various donors, I witnessed a powerful transformation. Today, as the sun sets, homes and streets come alive. I hear excited whispers of children about brighter schools and Anganwadis, technology-enabled classrooms, libraries, learning tools, sports equipment, the tools for a stronger future. Solar water pumps and water filters ensure families drink safely with dignity. Land that lay barren after the monsoon flourishes all year round. Nearly 3/4 of irrigable land now under cultivation. Solar-powered lift irrigation systems and farm ponds have made this possible. I know my waters are being used wisely because my survival is intertwined with theirs. Together, we can be certain the future is green and the future is bright.
Chirag Rural Development Foundation.
For setting a benchmark year after year and for their unwavering dedication to building a more sustainable future. Now, Chirag means light. So let there be light. Let there be applause as well. One more time. Absolutely inspiring. Congratulations once again. Now, while I request our presenters to remain, I know Mr. Thackeray needs to leave. He's pressed with urgent commitments, but I cannot really let you leave without a few words to our members of the audience. Can we have a special round of applause one more time for Aditya Thackeray?
Thank you. Good evening to everyone. I remember coming to Olive Crown a few years ago. Back then, I was the Environment Minister for the state. And I have happier memories, of course, because I used to come and report the things that we've done on a regular basis for the environment. And all the things I spoke back then were about how we saved about 15,000 hectares of mangroves in 11 months, or brought in about 18 conservation reserves, 7 or 8 tiger reserves, and much more of this. The green things, the better things of life. And as we speak today, of course, there's one part of the world that's being bombed out. We're counting human lives, human tragedy. We're not even seeing the amount of impact it's having on our planet today. The carbon footprint, the fires, how it's impacting the environment, our atmosphere, that's a whole different ballgame altogether. But closer to home, in the city that we are in today, even as we speak, 45,000 mangroves are being cut. 5,000 mangroves somewhere else. As I speak to you right now, I was getting reports from one of our units in Nasik, which is protesting against banyan trees being cut. 200-year-old heritage trees being cut. All of it, probably there's some thought to it. Probably there's a thought that, okay, let's make this country a desert. But the problem lies in the fact that today, in the field that I come from, and I've promised Rameshji that I won't be speaking political, because we eventually all veer towards politics. But politics has come to our dining table. Politics has come to our cricket fields. Politics has come everywhere. The only sad part is politics hasn't come to environment. And from all the people here who create ads and beautiful scripts and narratives and everything that we consume on a daily basis, if we need to move towards hope, if we need to move towards better days again, 2 years ago when I came, or 3 years ago when I came, I was here to deliver, not to ask. But I'm here to ask something of you today. I'm very humbly asking you, requesting you, pleading to you, that if you as the ad world, as you as the world of content, you as the world of creation, can come together and make saving environment cool again, make saving environment great again, since that's the way of the world today. Push us as politicians towards doing better things for environment, doing better things for our planet. Question us, hold us accountable. I remember an ad about 15 years ago where you said tigers, only 1,411 exist in the wild. That stuck deep inside. If you can push us to doing better things, the next year I'll be back here. I'm not saying with or without elections, that's a whole different thing altogether. Maybe I could then take some help for that as well. But I'll be back here again with a happier face to thank you for your contribution to pushing us towards doing better things. So I'm here as, of course, a fellow environment lover. I'm here from an art family. I'm here from a conservation family. But more so, I'm here also as a young politician, as a young citizen, who's asking you to question us and push us to do better. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much indeed. Well, I would be requesting Mr. Aditya Thackeray to join the audience. I would request our presenters to remain on stage, however. But Aditya, I'm going to be inviting you to please join the audience. I know you did mention about the number of tigers that stuck with you. Can we have a roaring round of applause for Mr. Aditya Thackeray? One more time. because this evening has been about communication on sustainability, and thank you for communicating with us about your passion and your purpose. Thank you so much again for joining us this evening. Now, with our presenters staying back with us here, ladies and gentlemen, we are now moving on to our next category that honors those who lead with responsibility, using their scale and influence to drive real change. We're talking about the Olive Crown for Corporate Social Crusader of the Year. Now, we've got 2 silver and 1 gold Olive Crown in this category. So let's take a look at the first joint silver Olive Crown in this category. Here we go.
The joint silver Olive Crown for the Corporate Social Crusader of the Year goes to the Adani Group.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Adani Group. Can we have a louder round of applause, everyone? For integrating sustainability into the core of its business, setting benchmarks in climate action, resource management, and responsible growth. The Adani Group, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations. Now, while our presenters remain on stage, the conversations will continue. With that being said, we'll now take a look at the joint silver Olive Crown in this category. We'll have the AB on the screen.
The joint silver Olive Crown for the Corporate Social Crusader of the Year goes to Dainik Bhaskar Group.
First up, let's power this evening with a huge round of applause. Let's hear it for the Dainik Bhaskar Group. That's right. On my left, on my right, everyone together. A louder and a louder round of applause for the Dainik Bhaskar Group. Through initiatives that turn awareness into action and participation into a people's movement, Dainik Bhaskar has created change at scale, touching lives, communities, and the environment. So once again, hearty congratulations. Well, now that means it's time for us to take a look at the Gold Olive Crown in this category. So let's take a look.
The Gold Olive Crown for the Corporate Social Crusader of the Year goes to
the Sundarbans, spanning 10,000 square kilometers across India and Bangladesh, is the world's largest mangrove forest and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Home to the endangered Royal Bengal tiger, saltwater crocodile, and Irrawaddy dolphin, it supports over 35 mangrove species while sustaining local communities through fisheries, honey collection, ecotourism, and traditional livelihoods. This vital ecosystem is under severe threat. Unsustainable aquaculture and unregulated development is also weakening its resilience. Scientists warn that up to 75% of the Sundarbans could disappear by 2100 if global warming exceeds 2 degrees Celsius. Though conservation efforts have slowed the decline, the pressure on the mangroves remains high. Mangroves are extraordinary coastal ecosystems of salt-tolerant trees, thriving in intertidal zones. They are powerful carbon sinks, storing 3 to 4 times more carbon per hectare than tropical rainforests, protecting communities from cyclones, erosion, and rising seas. Earth Day Network, with its strong foundation and successful global advocacy implementations and credibility, has been working in the Sundarban with the local communities for mangrove restoration and livelihood empowerment. Joining hands with Earth Day Network, Envision Energy India is endeavoring to provide the impetus to support decarbonization through business-driven climate solutions, advancing the goal of a net zero future. It all began with a pledge on the Earth Day 2 years ago to plant 1 sapling for every megawatt book order. 17,000 mangrove saplings have been sown. From then to now, it has been a beautiful, successful journey. For this year's Earth Day, Envision together with Earth Day Network has taken this pledge again to plant 1 lakh saplings per year for 5 years, from 2026 to 2031, total 5 lakh saplings, covering 50 hectares of mangrove plantation at 10,000 sapling per hectare, upholding the mission of making planet Earth net zero.
Envision Energy India.
All right, time to putting a lot of energy back into that applause. Let's have an energetic round of applause. Let's hear it for Envision Energy. At the front lines of climate action, where restoration meets resilience, they are rebuilding nature one mangrove at a time. Congratulations to the entire team. And thank you to our presenters for doing the honors. We're going to have our presenters back on stage in a short while, but thank you so much for presenting these category of awards. Now, I noticed that our audience members are the ones who are filled with green thumbs. And I see something like this looks like a halo right behind me. I want you all to raise your thumbs up in the air and say, are you all ready for the next segment of the program? Give me a thumbs up, everyone. Yes? Yes? All right. Well, if you are, because joining us next on stage is someone who's been familiar and a very engaging voice for the IAA, bringing a lot of energy, a lot of warmth, and a lot of presence to some of our most memorable platforms. And now, she's an impeccable actor who has carved a distinct space for herself with powerful performances. We're talking about Sacred Games, The Trial, Foundation, Javani Janeman. Listen, we need to match up to her energy, everyone. Woo! Everyone, please put your hands together to welcome on stage Kubra Said. Kubra, the stage still loves you. You're louder and louder. Come on, an absolute favorite. Listen, here's the thing. You know, the mic is here, the stage is here, audience. Bina baat kiye, I'm not going to let Kubra go. That's obvious, right? Yes? Yes? So I'm going to have you center stage over here.
Thank you so much, Kavya. Ladies and gentlemen, a very, very good evening to all of you. Wow. Where do I even start? I mean, for me, this is life coming a full circle, because when I was brand new, just a rookie who had just moved to Mumbai with nothing but dreams and a few rupees in my pocket, I thought I should do something big. And through that journey, I don't know if I ended up doing anything big or not, but I do know that I met big people. There are so many people who have known me from the inception of my career, and they are right here in this room. I have been here on this podium hosting shows for IAA for the last, I don't know, I've been in Mumbai for 16 years, and I have been a part of at least 12 years. Easy. And for me to have this wonderful X on the stage, where I have often asked people to stand and take a picture, and for me to be here standing in front of all you wonderful people, it's nothing but a huge honor. So I appreciate you. Thank you everybody for having me here. Ramesh sir, Swami sir, JD, I love you all. Thank you so much. I love you. Thank you so much. I know IAA is always doing incredible work supporting the voice of advertisers, not just in India, but taking the Indian voices to global stages. And they have done such an incredible job year on year, being spearheaded by wonderful minds. But this property, the Olive Crown, is especially close to my heart even, because this is where we discover the champions who voice our future collectively. There have been so many campaigns that I have witnessed firsthand, which have left an impact in my heart and mind. Like just now, I was sitting there and I was asking my friend beside me, I was asking him, if you cut mangroves, will they grow back? And he said, yes, but it's ecosystem. It'll take a really long time. And we don't think about the really long time, because who are we here to serve but ourselves for now? So taking a few notes from every single winner here tonight, I hope we can take that sense of responsibility back home with us. And while we continue to enjoy our present, maybe have a keen eye on the future, because the environment is where it all lies. It's sustainability where it all thrives. And with all you wonderful minds in this room, I'm sure that the change that we're hoping, we embody it right here in this room. So thank you everybody for doing all the wonderful work that you do. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I am sweating from places I didn't know I could sweat. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Kubra, for always being the ray of sunshine. You know, you bring that to the stage, to your roles on screen. Can we have a huge round of applause again to match up to that beautiful smile, to that beautiful energy that you always bring. Thank you again. With that being said, I'm going to request you to stay back on stage. You will now be presenting the award. I know you like this side as well. And that's why we love you for that. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, we have Kubra Said with us, and which is why let's quickly now move on to the next category of awards. But to join Kubra on the days, I'd also like to please invite our presenters. May I please invite Monica Patnaik, IAA Mancon member and Managing Director, Sambad Group. Kalpesh Patankar, Jury Member and Group Chief Creative Officer, VML India. Thank you so much for joining us. Whew. All right. That's right. Well, let me inform you all that our next category of awards celebrates the power of young thinking. We're talking about ideas that are fresh, fearless, and deeply in tune with the world that we are living in. The Young Green Writer and the Young Green Art Director categories, these are the categories that recognize emerging talent that are shaping the future of communication with a lot of purpose and a lot of perspective. Now this year, something really interesting happened across both the categories. The same campaign stood out. That's right, let me repeat it for all of you one more time. The same campaign stood out. It's a rare moment where thought and craft came together so seamlessly that the writer and the art director duos found themselves winning together, and we will be presenting these awards together. Now we've got 2 silvers and 1 gold olive crown in each of these 2 categories. So firstly, everyone, we're going to take a look at the first joint silver olive crown.
The joint silver olive crown for Young Green Writer of the Year and Young Green Art Director of the Year goes to Mihir Shinde and Pavan Kotiar from FCB Interface.
Congratulations. Let's have all of you come center stage. Wow, this is incredible. A powerful thought that reframes value, reminding us that while money can be replaced, what we lose to climate change cannot. Congratulations. Young Green Writer and Green Art Director, FCB. Congratulations. With that, we're now about to take a look at our second joint silver olive crown in this category. Here we go.
The joint silver olive crown for Young Green Writer of the Year and Young Green Art Director of the Year goes to Kokila Srivastava and Iman Sen Gupta from Havas Creative.
Congratulations to Kokila and Iman of Havas Creative. A clever, I would say a clever twist on consumer behavior, turning a familiar disclaimer into a compelling reason to choose better. Huge congratulations once again. And as our presenters remain on stage, it's now time to take a look at the gold olive crown in this category. Let's find out.
The gold olive crown for Young Green Writer of the Year and Young Green Art Director of the Year goes to Tia Padhi and Deva More from Into Creative.
Congratulations, Tia and Devam from Into Creative. Can we double up the applause? Let's make it youthful as well. We're talking about the Young Green Writer and Green Art Director. So let's make the applause also youthful. Woo, we're talking about bold, consistent, and impossible to ignore, making sustainability not just responsible, but desirable and accessible. So huge congratulations to the entire team. Or to the duo, if I may put it that way. Congratulations and thank you to our presenters. And thank you, Kubra, for joining us.
See, first I didn't want to say anything. Now I don't want to leave. I want to truly say this to you today. I felt like chief guest. I don't know who is chief guest, but I felt like chief guest tonight. Thank you.
And I was possibly thinking, Kubra, there's no way that you can leave the stage without coming to this part of the stage. So thank you so much again. And what a delight always meeting you. All right, on that delightful note, we're now moving on to the next category of awards. We're going to hold on to that energy and that momentum because a very befitting category coming up. Now, before we do that, before we move on to the next set, we in fact have the winners of the Envision Sundarbans Restoration Project. We in fact have the winner herself here. We have Shubhani Gharai. So first up, if I could please request Mr. Prasad to join in, to please come on the stage. Mr. Prasad, if I could please invite you to come on stage. And I've been informed that Shubhani Gharai is here inside the hall. So if I could please invite Shubhani to please come on stage. Firstly, congratulations. And thank you for the tremendous work that you've been doing. Let me please invite you on the stage. And let me also request our members of the audience to come together with a round of applause. The Envision Sundarbans Restoration Project, as I'd earlier mentioned about, in fact, Shubhani is the winner of this project. We did manage to receive an overwhelming response with a lot of entries, and that's why we take this opportunity to recognize and felicitate the winners, and our winner here being Shubhani Gharai. Now, right at the start of the program, we did announce, but we are happy to hit the rewind button because Shubhani is with us here this evening. So congratulations to you. And now, before we move ahead to our next set of awards, we have someone who represents the very spirit of this platform. Back in the year 2021, when we introduced the Young Green Crusader recognition, she was our very first recipient, a voice who has continued to turn purpose into meaningful action. Now, since then, her work has grown into a powerful initiative, driving awareness and impact, and also canvassing the globe in a way that truly matters. And she's joining us this evening to speak to all of us. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a huge round of applause. Please put your hands together to welcome Prachi Shevgaonkar, founder, Cool the Globe. Let's have a cool round of applause, everyone. As I invite Prachi to share a few words with all of us.
Hi, everybody. As she said, I was the first recipient of the Young Crusader Award, and I'm taking a hand mic so that you're able to see me. This is a very special moment for me. It feels like a full circle. I remember when I was 18, I spent a year traveling across India, working on issues that I thought were affecting our country the most. And at that time, I'd of course Googled, what is the biggest problem in the world today? And climate change came up. And I want to ask all of you today a simple question that I asked myself. Can I get a show of hands? How many of you care about climate change? So I asked this question only because I, for once, want to be in a room where all hands go up. And I know this room would be that. But to be very honest with you, the first time I asked myself that question, I had a moment of honesty with myself and I thought, yes, this seems like a big problem, but I don't know if I care enough about this. There are so many other issues in front of us today, from poverty to illiteracy. Why should I care about polar ice melting in some other part of the world? And so I decided to think about my part of the world. I spent a year working on the issues that I thought were affecting our country the most. And in every community I visited, I witnessed the effects of climate change. Only when I started working on ground did I realize that the environment and climate change is not about big words like global warming and coastal erosion and melting ice. As ordinary citizens, we care about very simple things. We care about our health, our food, our livelihoods, and most importantly, we care about our families and the people around us. And climate change affects every single one of these things. So today, climate action isn't just an environmental problem, it's a communication problem. We want to convince ordinary citizens that this is not about something else happening in some other part of the world. It's affecting our lives today. And if there's anybody else who can make that happen, it's all of us sitting in this very room. And so I asked myself a question: what can an ordinary girl like me do about a big problem like climate change? And in our home, we decided to start from our own lives. And we took up a challenge to reduce our own carbon footprint by 10%. Now, as I started doing that, my friends, neighbors, people around me took notice and said, you're doing something interesting, and we would like to join you in this quest. That's how I started thinking, how can I take this individual climate action I've started at home and get citizens around the world like all of you to join me in it? And we came up with an idea to build an app for climate action called Cool the Globe. Now, I built this app from my dorm room. And by the time I graduated, I launched it. That's when I realized that now the real work starts. We have the app, but the real work is in convincing people that in the face of something as big as climate, our actions matter. That's when the Olive Crown Awards came into my life. I was a young student with an idea back then. And this stage, this platform had no reason to believe in me. And yet, the Olive Crown Awards, Ramesh sir, so many of you sitting in the audience today believed in me. We were at about 10,000 app downloads back then, very small. And yet the Olive Crown Awards was the first platform to recognize us, at that time, a massive scale for me. And on that day, 5 years ago, I met so many people in the audience today who believed in me, supported me, showed me the vision of what is possible, who told me that this project you started from your college is bigger than what you think it is. The work you're doing on sustainability is more important than you think it is. They showed me the vision of what is possible. This stage showed me the vision of what is possible. And today, 5 years later, this small app I started from my dorm room has reached over 150 countries. Our campaigns reach over 25 million citizens. I started this as a young girl who wanted to make a difference, who wanted to do something about the environment, but thought only world leaders and large organizations and policymakers have that power. Today, as I speak to you, I'm again brought back to that moment 5 years ago when all of you believed in me. And without your support, my story would not have been possible. And that is the power of the Olive Crown Awards. So I'm immensely grateful for this stage. But more importantly, I tell you this because I want to show you the importance of moments like this. All of us go back to work and continue doing the work we do, but we must have moments like this when we celebrate how far we have come. And that is this day. And so I want to do something very small with all of you. A small exercise to wake us all up. You ready? So if there's one thing I've learned in this journey is that the biggest communication tool for climate is action. When we take action, we are empowered. We witness how my climate action inspires 10 others and creates a ripple effect for change. This is a room full of people passionate about sustainability. So my only ask for you today is that as we exit this room, we take a little bit of the essence of the Olive Crown Awards back with us. And we do it through one action we've promised to take for the rest of the So, one by one, I'm going to take the names of a few simple climate actions you can take this week. And if you're ready to take that action, or if you've already taken that action this week, all I want you to do is stand up. Okay? So, stand up if you can make one journey by local or a public transport this week. Okay, stand up and keep standing. Stand up if you're going to carry your own water bottle this week. Stand up if you're going to exchange your business cards digitally. Stand up if you're going to recycle plastic in your home this week. Stand up if you're going to bring sustainability and climate action to your work this week. So we have a room full of people standing. Now all I want you to do is hug the person next to you and tell them, I'm proud of you for the work you're doing in sustainability. Amazing. I'm proud of all of you too, and I'm proud of me too. So these are the days that remind us that we have come very far, but we have a longer way to go. At the beginning of my journey, I read somewhere that it's going to take a miracle to avoid the worst effects of climate change. But today, seeing a room full of very powerful people standing up for sustainability, I realized that when people like us come together and take action, miracles can happen. So let's make them happen. Thank you so much.
You know, Prachi, I must say something that they often say that an idea can change life. You prove that while an idea can ignite that change, it's action that can truly make an impact. Can we have an action-filled round of applause? One more time for Prachi, everyone. And if I could please also invite Mr. Abhishek Karnani. Abhishek, if you're inside the hall, if I could invite you. Yes, you are right here. Let's have you on the stage to also present a token of our gratitude to Prachi. Thank you so much. Thank you for that incredible reminder. Thank you for sort of getting us all up on our seats, for cheering for one another. Thank you so much. All right, all right. We're going to take that energy forward. And let's now very quickly move on to our next set of awards. In fact, to present our next set of awards, may I please invite on stage Nandini Dyers, Honorary Secretary, IAA India Chapter. And if I may also please invite Amitesh Rao, CEO, Leo Burnett, and Ashish Sehgal, CEO, Times Now. You know, we've got such incredible presenters, as incredible as our winners for the evening as well. Yeah, Zorla Talia ho jaye. Let's also hear it for our amazing presenters. We'll have Nandini Dyers, Amitesh Rao, and Ashish Sehgal on the stage. Then let's march ahead, because right now you'll be presenting 2 awards. And for our next category, we're talking about a category that recognizes experiences that bring sustainability to life. Now, there's 1 gold olive crown in this category. So first up, everyone, let's take a look on the screen, please.
In the category events, the gold olive crown goes to
Every year during Visarjan, there are many trucks. Yellow trucks, green trucks, big trucks, small trucks, many trucks. And that means many black smoke. A lot of smoke, but not our truck. Hi, my name is Lokhi. I study at Vikramshila Navodisha School. Our truck for Visarjan wasn't just a truck. It was a bahon. When our bahon got our Pratima home, everybody watched. And when our bahon went pandal hopping, everyone followed. People also took pictures and selfies with it. But how was such a big truck moving all by itself? I asked teacher miss, and she said 8 ever-ready batteries and a remote control made this possible. Our Bahon moved here to there without making any smoke. It was loved by everyone, and the best part, we got invited to the state's official Pujo Carnival. Big truck, us. Then again, big truck, big truck. Puchki was again jumping with joy, and this time I was too. Our Visarjan caused no pollution, all thanks to this Bahon.
Ever Ready Ultima Bahon, created by Ogilvy Mumbai for Ever Ready Industries India Limited.
Let's all get ever ready with a huge round of applause as well as we hear it for our winners. Yes, we can keep that applause coming one more time. What we witnessed was a beautiful blend of culture, innovation, and purpose, turning a simple battery into a vehicle of joy and ensuring that even the smallest celebrations feel truly powerful. Huge congratulations to the entire team. Congratulations, team. I'm going to request our presenters to remain on stage. I know, audience, you and I, we were all vibing to that soundtrack of Chika Chika Chika, Chika 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 as well, right? Such a cool campaign, such an important campaign as well. So once again, congratulations. But with that, let's now move on to our next category that recognizes ideas that have traveled beyond borders, campaigns that have sparked conversations and driven change, and most importantly, made an impact on a global scale. We'll take a look at the Silver Olive Crown in this category.
The Silver Olive Crown for the International Green Campaign of the Year goes to...
It is my pleasure to launch the 16th edition of the Green Storm Global Photography Festival. This platform continues to celebrate the beauty of our planet to inspire collective action towards its preservation. The Green Storm Photography Festival is evolving into a global movement that is engaging tens of thousands of photographers from around the world. A movement that is creating millions of meaningful interactions with the public about our environment and our potential futures. It is a remarkable testament to the power of visual storytelling in connecting people to nature. I am delighted to officially announce that the theme for this 16th edition of the festival is Beautiful Wetlands. Launching this festival today on World Wetlands Day has deep and symbolic significance. Deep significance in reminding us that wetlands make our existence on Earth possible. This is what makes protecting the world's wetlands a common interest. Greenstorm Foundation and the UNCCD G20 Global Land Initiative are partnering for a second time to showcase and celebrate not just the breathtaking beauty of wetlands, but also their critical importance for every person on Earth. Starting now, you can submit your photographs to win awards with an incredible total prize pool of $18,000.
The 16th Green Storm Global Photography Festival, created by Organic BPS for Green Storm Foundation.
Well, yes, ladies and gentlemen, a global movement that transforms powerful imagery into action, using visual storytelling to inspire millions across the world to see, feel, and protect the planet. Congratulations. Thank you to our presenters as well. Thank you so much. All right. We're now moving on to our next segment of the program, everyone. In fact, our next few awards are for ideas that have made their mark across more than one category. A true reflection of consistency in both thought and execution. So, which is why to present our next set of awards, I'd like to please invite on stage Megha Tata, past President, IAA India Chapter and Strategic Advisor, EdSTED. We'd also like to please invite KV Sridhar, AK Pops, Jury Member and Global Chief Creative Officer, Nihilant Limited. Such a delight to meet you again. What a delight to meet you. All right, everyone. Okay. Now here's where we're going to bring your attention to the screen as well, because our next winner wins across TVC Corporate and Campaign of the Year, और वो जरूर करके दिखाते हैं. So let's take a look. All eyes on the screen, please.
The Silver Olive Crown for TVC Cinema Corporate and Committee Special for Green Campaign of the Year goes to...
In a country racing towards tomorrow, millions still wait for uninterrupted power. But what if clean energy could change that? Not someday, today. Rakesh had left his village years ago, like millions do, seeking opportunities abroad. He returned expecting the same past he'd left behind. But something had changed. Fields that once withered now thrived. Classrooms once in shadow were connected and alive with learning. The hospital that couldn't store medicines now saved lives through the night. The sun hadn't just arrived, it had decided to stay. This is the story of Suraj. Not a person, a promise. A promise that clean energy isn't a dream of tomorrow. It's the reality of today. Clean energy powers millions of homes across India. But numbers don't move hearts. We needed to make sustainability felt. Personal, undeniable. So we didn't make an ad about solar panels. We shared a story of real impact, set in a real town, powered by real change. Because the strongest sustainability stories aren't told in boardrooms. They unfold in people's lives. And we didn't stop at the film. We powered entire radio stations with the sun, a world first. The medium became the message. Solar energy telling its own story through the very broadcast it powered. 150 plus radio voices carried the message forward, not as an ad, but as a conversation about their towns, their Suraj, their tomorrow. And the results were there to see. The film didn't just win attention, it earned belief. Because when sustainability stops being a claim and becomes a character in someone's life, it becomes undeniable. At Adani, we're not just generating clean energy, we're lighting up life stories. One village, one Suraj at a time. Adani, hum karke dikhate hain.
The story of Suraj, created by the Adani Group.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story of Suraj, created by the Adani Group. Can we have a thunderous round of applause, everyone? Let's come together, because winning in both the categories for bringing to life a story where sunlight becomes the opportunity and progress is felt in the everyday lives of people. That's the story of Suraj. So huge congratulations to the entire team at Adani Group. Congratulations to the entire team. While I request our presenters to remain on stage. In fact, our next campaign, Wins Across Events and Out of Home, bringing the idea to life across spaces and experiences. So let's take a look. Here we go.
The Silver Olive Crown for Out of Home and Gold Olive Crown for Events goes to
Red and white. These are Coke's colors. Red and white are also the colors of Durga Puja, one of India's largest religious festivals. So how does an iconic red slip seamlessly into the local cultural fabric? Simple, by becoming the fabric itself. Introducing Coke Lal Par. Coke's plastic PET bottles, crushed, cleaned, pulled into thread. Ready for the artisans of Pulia, Bengal's legendary weaving village. Artisans whose hands don't just weave cloth, they weave culture into it. Red and white plastic bottles, once recycled and rewoven, rediscovered themselves as Bengal's iconic Lal Par. Reimagined with purpose, reborn through craft. Coke Red returned to the cultural fabric as Lal Par and became the talk of the festival. It garnered more than 7.2 million impressions, reached over 8.1 million, recycled around 2.6 tons of plastic, and touched countless hearts. And just like that, the iconic red became evergreen.
Coca-Cola Lal Par, created by Ogilvy for the Coca-Cola Company.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's weave a refreshing round of applause, everyone. A brand and an agency that continue to push the bar, and this time in the sustainability space. So congratulations for bringing together the craft, community, and conscious design in a way that feels both authentic and impactful. I love the Coca-Cola motifs on the sari, absolutely. What a delight. Oh my God, absolutely innovative. Now that's what I truly call 6 yards of impact. And that's the kind of stories that we love to feel, to watch, and to also get inspired by. Dear team, congratulations. Absolutely innovative, absolutely amazing. And with that, thank you so much, Megha. Thank you so much, Pops, for joining in, for doing the honors. And on that delightful note, we're about to move forward. And now, ladies and gentlemen, as you can notice, we're giving a quick makeover to the stage. Something is happening on the stage right over here. But before we move on to our last set of awards, we're going to deep dive into a very, very interesting and an important conversation. But first up, I'd like to please invite none other than Neeraj Roy, past President, IAA India Chapter and Managing Director of Hungama Digital Media Entertainment, to please come on the stage. Well, the powerhouse he is, let's have a powerful round of applause, everyone. Mr. Neeraj Roy. And now, joining us on stage, good evening, hi there. Well, joining us now on stage is a powerhouse of a performer, a style icon, but most importantly, a voice that resonates with a generation that is increasingly conscious about the choices they make. Now, she's someone who brings both influence and intent, using her platform to champion mindful living and more sustainable choices. We have with us, well, none other than, any guesses here? बड़े loud वाणी से हम बोलेंगे. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it with a huge round of applause. Vani Kapoor. Woo! And with that, let the conversation begin.
Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. Okay. No, this is a pleasure, sir. Thank you for having me.
Thank you
here.
so much, Vani. And just like climate, doesn't change, doesn't sort of, doesn't wait for change, as it were. Audiences too sort of don't necessarily wait as we delay the program where we are. But I'm actually wanting to highlight something before we start here, Vani. This is a program which was initiated about 16 years ago by a very dear friend of mine, Kaushik Roy and Ramesh Narayan. And it's wonderful to see this initiative, which was a little subset of the Goa Ad Fest 16 years back. At a time, perhaps, 6, 7, 8 years back, there weren't so many conversations about the environment that were happening. And to see now audiences coming across scores of brands and industries which are making this a part of their communication in a certain way. And the IAA has always believed that the power of communication is something that's so critical, and which is where we welcome you as a sort of eminent actor for the work that you have done. And we'd love to hear your story, your narrative of, we tend to put too much pressure on our public figures. We expect them to be perfect in every way, do all the right things, etc. So this is not going to be one of those. We're not putting you in any kind of spot. The idea is, for me, I'll tell you, for me, the inspiration to this started with my daughter. She was about 6 or 7 years old. And as I was leaving the room, she pointed out that, Papa, you've not switched off the fan. And that was a message which she had learned from her school. And that kind of got me into this. And then IAA Olive Crown happened and various things lead up to that. I know you've made some choices in your life as well. I believe you turned vegetarian. There must have been a reason for that in its own form. So talk to us a little bit about what has driven you towards the environment, and what is it that you've sort of, been able to do in the position that you are right now.
So I am not going to sit here and claim I figured it all out. I'll be very honest and frank. My job requires us to travel constantly to consume. Our industry thrives on newness. So it's not something that, it's nothing about it is very dramatic for me, but it's the everyday choices that you make. It's about being less thoughtless and more mindful, which I think we all can incorporate in our lives. It's not such a hectic thing. If you're just more aware of simple things, which might seem very basic, but they kind of accumulate and they become deeply meaningful eventually, because we are all here collectively are trying to build an environment and a quality of life that future generations are going to also experience with us. So I think what's truly important is to be mindful. Like you're saying, your daughter told you about the light appliances. I do that too. There are times when I don't, and it stays, on my mind. It'll be like, oh my God, I forgot to switch off my fan, or I forgot to switch off the appliance. So something like that, just keeping those small little notes in your mind, they become your habit. And once they are kind of a part of your very being and part of your system, everyday functioning, then it doesn't feel like a chore. It doesn't feel like an extra effort that you're putting in. But yeah, like just basic things, which, how do I say, like if you ask me, I would talk about for example, you don't treat public spaces as disposable. I try at least to reuse before replace anything, and just to be more mindful when it comes to consumption, be it food, be it clothing, be it energy.
Absolutely. In fact, a short while ago, there was this young lady who started this initiative called Cool the Globe. And she came here and spoke. And she said something so simple and basic, which is that forget whatever, what governments will do, the larger parts. It's about simple actions that we can all take in our own lives, as it were. And I think that's what you're sort of, in a way, resonating to. I know you've also been somebody who's, there was a film that you worked on as well, which had a very interesting way of disposing waste with their entire production crew of, as a project itself. So within the entertainment industry, I find that, you all have such a massive reach. Simple thing of just being able to raise this and get consumers, because Gen Z actually respects and appreciates more of this than some of us sitting here, as it were. So talk to us about, any interactions that you've perhaps had within the film industry itself as far as the environment is concerned. And
I think we all, at a very individual level are very aware. People are very woke these days. Now that you mentioned Gen Zs, they are more cautious and aware. I must give them the credit to, put their energy into the right direction and into the right things that matter all of us. Now I can't, if you ask me like that, how we were shooting for Chandigarh Kare Aashiki, I remember Pragya Kapoor, who was also producer and wife of Gattu, Abhishek Kapoor, like we call him Gattu. She was very, very passionate. She still very much is extremely passionate about sustainability and the environment. And I have seen her, I remember we were shooting for a holy sequence song, and because we had color all over and we had to take a cut, and then for all the retakes we had to follow continuity and rub off all the color that we already had on our skin and then redo the makeup. And she was like, guys, we only have these many tissues, make do, just ensure and everything was, nothing was one-use plastic on our film set. Absolutely nothing. Everything was sustainable. The people were taking extra measures, and also because we were in the midst of a pandemic. So it made us all the more cautious, in terms of using everything very cautiously and smartly. And I don't think it's just about a film set. It's the intent behind, how somebody can be, because a lot of wastage can happen. Like I said, our industry sometimes, because there's so much happening and there's a big crew and so many people that you can't discipline all of them. So I think we have to take that responsibility on ourselves to just mind ourselves. We don't have to go around preaching everybody. I don't have to preach anybody. I think everybody in today's day and age very smart and capable of understanding the importance of where we are headed as a world. So it's a reminder to ourselves more than to anybody else how we can take those simple small steps and eventually contribute in the bigger, for the bigger impact.
No, in fact, you'll be happy to know, and Pragya is somebody you all worked with, and Gattu who's been a friend of ours. I think IAA Olive Crown Awards actually recognized that initiative 2 years back, and they were given an award for innovation in what was brought across out there. Vani, this is also an audience of marketeers. If you talk to us about some of your newer projects that are coming. And we certainly feel that with the Olive Crown itself that's done, we look forward to you potentially being supportive of some of our initiatives that we take in this area. But please do update us with, what are some of your films.
I would love to update everybody, but I'm just not in the position to talk about it because there are two already in the pipeline. There's one with the Maddox film and there's another one, and then there is one which is unlocked. So until and unless, there's a whole protocol that you have to follow. You have to let the production house announce, and then you're in a position to make any statement.
I understand. I understand. That's perfectly all right. Yeah. Before being somebody from the digital world, I have to sort of point out something. This is about 3 weeks back. There was a forum which was being done by a company called NVIDIA, and the founder of NVIDIA, Jensen Huang. And he spoke about how 10 years back, the first GPU that they introduced in the market to what was showcased 3 weeks back, which was in March last year, has had in a 10-year period 40 million compounding effect in terms of compute power. So to me, this is just a message more than anything else. I think the Olive Crown, we've done a wonderful job of bringing the industry together to take this and perhaps leverage on, the network and community of some of the, finest public figures that are there and amplify the voices in a lot more manner. And we certainly look forward to that, Vani. With this, I want to welcome you to the IAA Olive Crown family as, a green ambassador. You're making a pledge that you will sort of, continue to champion this. And I want to assure you one thing, that, I think we just keep making too much of, even if the simplest of actions can get disseminated, change really starts from there. And I'm sure, you will be in a position to assist us in every manner that we are looking for as far as.
No, I feel like people should just keep one thing in mind. And it's literally as simple as that. You leave a place the way you'd want to find it. I mean, do you want to find dirt and garbage and just bad air quality and, things that we are running out of resources? No, nobody wants to live in scarcity. So why should we not just take measures when we can before it's too late for anybody to, kind of turn back time and make things all normal and how it used to be. I think we all have that awareness. It just needs to be not so subliminal and more out in the forefront for people to take conscious efforts. And again, not trying to preach anybody, but I genuinely feel individually, if we just work on our small habits, like we discussed, it's going to have a much bigger impact than any of us can think.
Thank you very much, Vani. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our Green Ambassador for Communication, Ms. Vani Kapoor.
Absolutely. And if I could also please invite Mr. Abhishek Karnani to please come on stage. I'd like to request you to please join Mr. Neeraj as well to present a token of our gratitude. Small habits and how they can make big impact. Thank you so much, Vani, for reminding us that this evening. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. And thank you, Vani, for joining us. All right, all right. Now, that being said, we're about to move on to our last set of awards, but this is where I have an announcement, and I know that there's an output outside, which means the people outside can also hear me. I'm going to request everyone in the pre-function area. We're going to request everyone to come back inside the hall because it's our last set of awards. We're going to make the most of it. The finale set of awards. So I'm going to urge everyone, in case your friends are outside, I'm going to request you all to drop a quick message saying, come back right in, because it's time for the finale for the evening. So everybody outside, if my voice is reaching you, I'd love for you all to come back right inside. We're going to make the most of it. The final bit of the evening, the final segment of the evening. So everybody and all those who are still standing, move forward. I'll move forward with the program as well. Everyone who's standing, come forward, take your seats. All the ones who are outside, come back right in. We now move on to our final set of categories. That being said, looks like, are you all ready? You've all been ever ready. You all been ever set right from the start. So let's move on to our final set of awards. And to do the honors, may I please invite on stage Srinivasan K. Swami, Chairperson, AFAA. May I also please invite Mr. Abhishek Karnani, President, IAA India Chapter President, and of course, Janak Sharda, Chairperson, IAA Olive Crown Awards 2026. And meanwhile, if I could request the team over here to also inform the members outside that this is the final segment. So let's come back in. We'll do this together. In fact, for all those who are present inside the hall, let me tell you that our next category is the biggest honor that we present at the IAA Olive Crown Awards. It honors a force that has gone beyond awareness to create real on-ground change, and we celebrate that journey defined by purpose, persistence, and real impact. Now, before we take a look at the AV, I'd also like to please invite none other than Kaushik Roy, past President, IAA India Chapter, to please join on the stage as well. So if I could please invite Kaushik Roy to please come on stage, sir. If I could please invite you. We have your august presence with us here this evening. Can we have a round of applause as well to welcome Mr. Kaushik Roy? Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. All right, now our winner this evening represents exactly that. We're talking about a powerful effort that has revived ecosystems, mobilized communities, and restored life where it once was fading. We're going to take a look at finding out our winner right up on the screen. Here we go.
The Green Crusader of the Year is
नदियों की शाखाएं उनकी धार को सदैव सजीव बनाए रखती हैं। आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग की टीम इन शाखाओं को जीवित कर रही है। इस कड़ी में तमिलनाडु के 1420 ग्राम के आसपास 23 नदियों और उपनदियों को जीवंत किया जा रहा है, जिसमें 6320 संरचनाएं बनाई गई हैं। सालों से सूखी हुई नाग नदी के पुनर्वाह का कार्य 20,000 महिलाओं ने संकल्पित होकर आरंभ किया। समय के साथ साथ ये कड़ी लंबी होती गई और भी महिलाएं संगठित होने लगी। सभी महिलाओं के लिए वो क्षण गौरवान्वित रहा जब प्रधानमंत्री जी ने इस कार्य को ध्यान में रख मन की बात में उनकी सराहना की।
तमिलनाडु में ही 20,000 महिलाओं ने साथ आकर वेल्लोर में नाग नदी को पुनर्जीवित किया था।
अभी तक 44,000 महिलाओं ने नाग नदी के 366 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर कैचमेंट एरिया का सृजन कर कर्मनिष्ठा की अविश्वसनीय परिभाषा लिखी है। परिणाम स्वरूप नाग नदी 600 दिनों से लगातार बह रही है और लोगों को लाभान्वित कर रही है।
the art of living for revival of the Nag Nadi River.
Now, before we present the award, that's right. Before we present the award, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special message from Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar. So firstly, let's take a look at that message.
Namaste. The International Advertising Association has taken upon itself social responsibilities of recognizing sustainable developments throughout the country. Let me congratulate them for taking this initiative. I would have loved to be there, but due to prayer commitments, I could not come to Mumbai and be with you all. But let me thank the association for recognizing the work of Naganadi River in Tamil Nadu. You know, hundreds of people are benefited by this river, which has become now a perennial source of water for many, many villages. The volunteers, women folks, they all join hand together to do this, let me dedicate this award to all of those volunteers and workers who engaged tirelessly in making this dream come true. This Nagnadi River has been mentioned by our Honorable Prime Minister several times, and several other dignitaries world over have recognized the 75 different rivers which has been rejuvenated by sheer volunteer force. India has a very resilient population. To stand up to the challenges that we face today, whether fuel or water or air pollution, I think all the NGOs, all the volunteer organizations should come together and work and partner with the government agencies, and we can really take the country forward. And let me once again congratulate the International Advertising Association for encouraging, supporting, and promoting sustainable developments. Om Shanti.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of IAA India chapter, it's our extreme privilege to present the Green Crusader of the Year, the art of living for reviving the Nag Nadi River. Can we have a huge round of applause? Let's revive that applause as well and make it louder and louder. Reviving a river and the life around it. That's a movement that brought communities together to restore what was once lost. Green Crusader of the Year, ladies and gentlemen, Art of Living for reviving the Nag Nadi River. I must say congratulations and most importantly, thank you for doing such an inspiring work. And on that inspiring note, while I thank Mr. Kaushik Roy for joining us, for doing the honors, I'm going to now invite you to join back the audience to watch the rest of the awards proceedings while I request the rest of the presenters to remain on stage. But I'd like to thank Mr. Kaushik Roy as well. Thank you so much again for joining us, for presenting this honor. Well, yes, we're coming to the finale bit. That's right, that's the plan. Okay, everyone, let me just hit a rewind button for just one last time, because we began the evening with 40 olive crowns to be presented or crowned to campaigns that have stood out. Now 30, I'm going to refresh that number again, 30 have already found their winners. What comes next has never, ever happened before at the Olive Crown. We're talking about one campaign, 10 olive crowns. That's right. 10 bahane karke le gaya dil. And the olive crown as well. We're talking about an idea so powerful, so consistent, that it transcended categories, formats, and mediums. And well, let me tell you, it is rooted in products itself. Now, this one did not just stand out once, it stood out again and again, and it is that time of the evening where we take a look at the winner without any delay. Let's quickly have the AV on the screen, please.
The Silver Olive Crowns for TVC, Cinema, Consumer Products, and Digital. The Gold Olive Crowns for Press Consumer Products, TVC, Cinema Consumer Products, Digital. Out of Home, Green Brand of the Year, Green Campaign of the Year, Green Advertiser of the Year, and Green Agency of the Year goes to...
Every year, the world dumps 23 billion pairs of shoes into landfills. They stay on this planet forever. Chubbs decided to do something about it. We launched a range of 100% biodegradable footwear. But a product alone was not enough. The message had to live the idea. We launched the campaign with a 20 by 10 foot hoarding, India's first biodegradable billboard with a giant slider on it. and everything was made entirely from natural materials. Three weeks later, it rained. And slowly the structure began to change. Rain revealed the true meaning to the billboard. This idea was driven across media with a series of retail statics and digital videos. A direct mailer that was a slider made of clay was set, underlining the biodegradable idea. We signed off the campaign with 4 hard-hitting digital and television films that stirred conversations on the internet, going viral. The message traveled far and wide, with media and influencers taking notice, leading to earned media worth approximately 42 million rupees. We got 234,000 additional website visits, 29 million newer social interactions, but more than all the numbers, Chubbs became. Known as India's first biodegradable footwear brand, it was our first humble step in service of the planet.
तू भी मिट्टी मैं भी मिट्टी तू भी मिट्टी मैं मिट्टी.
Biodegradable world, created by Into Creative for Chubbs Footwear.
Well, that's right. Let's take a look at the team that's walking away with 10 trophies. We need all the 10 fingers to come together for a huge round of applause, everyone, for that powerful idea that reminds us that sustainability is not just about lasting longer, but about leaving better. Huge congratulations to the entire team. For those who are wondering, the trophies that they have won, let me remind you all, they won the silver TVC Cinema Consumer Products, silver digital, gold press consumer products, gold TVC Cinema Consumer Products, gold digital, gold out of home, gold for Green Brand of the Year, gold for Green Campaign of the Year, and gold for Green Advertiser of the Year, and gold for Green Agency of the Year. Can we have a golden round of applause one more time for Team Chubbs and Into Creative? Take a bow. make some noise, everyone. Let's hear it one more time for team at Chops and Intercreative. Woo! History has been made at the IAA Olive Crown. Congratulations once again to the team at Chops and Intercreative. Huge congratulations. 10 गुना celebrations तो बनता ही है, for sure. Congratulations. And thank you so much to our presenters. Woo! Absolutely amazing, amazing. We told you we had a befitting finale in store for all of you. But before we draw the curtains to the 16th IAA Olive Crown Awards, tonight indeed has been a celebration of ideas. Ideas that didn't just inform, but inspired. That didn't just speak, but sparked change. And as we leave this room, we carry with us more than just memories of a wonderful evening. We carry responsibility, because the stories that we choose to tell, the ideas that we choose to back, all of these will shape the world we share. So thank you so much, everyone, for being part of this incredible evening. And one last time, thank you so much again to our partners as well. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. But we'd also like to thank our partners as well, our associate partners, Envision Energy and The Hindu, print media partners, Deccan Herald, The Free Press Journal, and The Hindu Group, web media partners, Ad Gully, Indian Television, MXM, Manifest, Media News for You, and Media Brief, and our strategic partner, Awardor. All right, everyone, this is Kavya signing off. I know we have raised the bar of the evening, so let's all go hit the bar. But winners, please come on stage. Take your photographs with your shining trophies. Let's keep those smiles, those conversations on for the rest of the evening. Thank you, and I'll see you on the other side of the hall.